What the fuck's going on, America? Jericho Green with you early in the AM, bundled up like the younger brother in Christmas Story because it is colder than penguin pussy out here. Now, yesterday, I did a little video on what people in the comment section are calling Pocahonky, aka the squaw with diarrhea of the jaw, Elizabeth Warren, basically throwing her hat in the ring for the 2020, or her headdress in the ring for the 2020 presidential election. What I did not talk about was that robotic, uncomfortable, inauthentic video that she put out. Man, it's some of the worst shit you've ever seen. People recognize real. If you come off fake in any way, it's shockingly noticeable. It's like when a little kid tries to lie to you, and it's painful to watch. It's laughable. That's what this video was. And she's in the kitchen in her house, which I'm sure has gates and fences around it, unlike our country. But anyway, I'm sure she lives behind a nice, big, beautiful wall. And she's in her kitchen, and she's like, "Oh, hey, everybody." Like, she was walking by, and she's like, "Oh, hey, you're here." Like, we're watching some children's programming or some shit. So, she's like, before she starts, she's like, "Oh, let me get me a beer. Get me a beer." This bitch is supposed to be a sitting senator and a former Harvard, and she stepped on the ball. A former Harvard professor, and she said, "I'm gonna get me a beer." Who the fuck says that? So she grabs a beer. You never really see the label. Who knows? That shit could have been fucking Martinelli's or some shit in there. Like, come on. But she grabs this beer, takes a swig, and then her husband comes in. She's like, "Oh, hey, Bruce. Hey, come here. This is my honey." And she like puts her arms around him, and you hear her like pat him on the back. You can hear him like slap his back. But you don't do that. If that's your wife or your husband, they've been married for 35 years, supposedly. So when that's your spouse, your partner in crime, the one who's got your back before anybody else, you guys have created life together, you guys own property and shit together, you don't do that. You don't pat them on the back. That's some weird shit. And she's like, "Hey, you want a beer?" And he's like, "No, thank you." And she's like, "Oh, I'm glad you're here." He's like, "Well, enjoy your little internet show." And he walks away. That's not much of an exaggeration, people. "I'm glad you're here." Where the fuck else is he supposed to be? Are you talking in front of like a group of people? Is this a speaking engagement or your fucking kitchen? And she's like, "Oh, let's see who we have here." She starts reading the names, that they come up during the live chat. "Hey, Kenny. And we have so-and-so." And of course, some fucking nerd, their name was Darth. And she's like, "Oh, Darth. That's a name I wish I had." It was the most uncomfortable. You ever watch like a movie or something so bad, you got to turn that shit off? Because even though you're in the privacy of your own home, it's so bad and so uncomfortable to watch. You can't do it. You physically cannot watch it. Or have you ever been somewhere and someone's singing and they suck, but you got to sit through it anyway? It was just inauthentic, totally scripted. It just came off wrong. It came off like in the 80s, like she was a rapping granny. "I'm a rapping granny, and I'm here to say I like rapping every day." It was fucking terrible. Like when somebody too old tries to do something too young. That's what it was like. I remember one time my mom was taking me to school in the morning. I don't know, this was the early 90s. And one of the rare times that I got to put it on the station that I wanted to listen to. There's a station around here called K-Wave. And it's like elevator music. That's what Mom always wanted to listen to. And I wanted to listen to the younger station, the station I actually ended up working for in my 20s. But I turn on a song, and my mom was like, "Who's that? MC Hammer?" And it was like, not even close to MC Hammer. I don't remember who it was, but it was like Vanilla Ice or some shit. It was way off. And I'm just like, Mom, how are you so out of touch? How do you not know this? Same thing with Elizabeth Warren, with Johannes. What the fuck are you doing? Just keep it real. It would have been better if she came on there like, let me turn this fucking heater off. Damn. It would have been better if she came in there like, hey, I'm not too good with this technology stuff, so, let's see what happens. Just be real. Whatever it is, be real. But when you try to be something you're not, you try to be fake, you try to get me a beer, shut the fuck up. This is my honey. I love you. But we know who your fucking husband is. Your honey. Man, get out of here. That was some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And you know what? This was just her first video. This was just the first one. You know she's going to have some more bangers. Some more gems. Man, keep me busy, Elizabeth Warren. Keep me busy. Rappity rap, I'm a rapping granny. Get me a beer. Okay. Well, you know how it goes, people. I got to jump in this rat race. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Follow your boy on the Twitters at @green_Jericho. I'm Jericho Green. Man, I am out.